I'm Roman Vladimirski. Ryan Weir is half the man he used to be, thankfully. All right, we're back with another episode of the TV2 News Podcast. Roman Vladimirski, Ryan Weir. Got a very special guest today with us. They're all special every time guests decide to come and sit with us. Nicky Guarriello, one of the owners of Iconic Lash Lounge. Iconic Lash Lounge.
Try again.
And Iconic Beauty Suites. Nicky, thanks for taking a few minutes to come
Thanks
sit with us.
Thanks for coming out.
Dude,
Appreciate it. Thank
Welcome.
You guys.
how you doing, man?
Good, man. How you guys doing?
Can't
Living the
complain.
dream.
Good.
Tuesday after a 3-day weekend is usually a little rough.
Yeah.
You know,
And at the end of the summer.
and at the end of the summer. And it's 90 degrees outside. It's
I
hot
love
as
that.
fuck.
I love that. This is what I live for. I should be in Mexico. That's the weather.
You're more of a summer
Yeah.
kinda guy?
I don't do fall or winter.
No?
Yeah, no.
I love fall and winter.
Yeah.
Even pure humidity? You like pure humidity?
pure humidity.
Oh,
What?
that's
Yeah.
No way.
Facts.
So when you're hot, you can strip down and to be nude and you're still hot.
So
But when you're cold, you can put sweaters, jackets on, and you feel better.
I mean, I set my life up to where like 50, like most of my time, I'm either in a car or in my office. So really, if I'm enduring that heat, it's just walking from the car to my office. So I keep it. Even
Sometimes
when I'm,
it's a long 30 seconds.
yeah, you could ask anybody. Like I keep my car on a lot in the back of the spa with the AC like pumping, so it's ready for me like when I get out there. You know. Like,
Really?
Yeah.
I don't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do it. I can't do it. Hold on, before we get into the seriousness of this conversation, all right, we gotta ask you the money question on this podcast that almost everybody has to answer.
Okay.
And Fran's laughing because he knows exactly where I'm
oh
going
my
with this.
god.
Okay?
Here we go.
What is, because you're into fashion, you wear a lot of designer stuff, right?
Mhm.
What is your opinion, and be honest, on jorts?
Jorts.
Jean shorts.
I was born in '91, so my
Yes.
whole childhood was jean shorts. Like Pepe, Polo, everybody had
Yeah.
jean shorts at that time.
Okay.
When fashion kind of started switching over to the tighter look, the shorts started going out, the cargos started coming in, and then just recently, jean shorts. Like in the past 5 years, I feel like jean shorts have been coming back on a tighter look. Not on baggy like how I used to
Right.
wear them. I've never bought a pair.
Damn it.
I'm not against
want-
it. I see some people pull it off. I just
Fran looks great in jorts.
yeah. I mean, it's like he looks like Hulk in shorts. yeah, but
Dude, I've gotten crushed by many people for wearing jorts. I love jorts. I think they're amazing.
mhm.
I sweat a lot, hence why I don't like the summer. So for me, like a pair of shorts like this, sometimes.
No, yeah.
Get a
I
little
wouldn't
sweat
even
right through
consider
there.
those like jorts.
These aren't, no.
Yeah.
I mean, they look it, but they're not.
Yeah,
They're
those
fine
are
when you wear
khakis.
regular jorts, but then when you roll them like you're rolling pants or you got the frayed ends, that's a little too much.
I
Yeah,
think the frayed ends might be too much, but I don't roll them on purpose. They come that way.
Yeah.
They come that way. baby.
Irons them every Sunday.
All right. All right. Now that we got that out of the way,
Yeah.
we'll get to the seriousness of it all. Dude, so you and your wife started a sick business that has taken off
Thank you.
amazingly, right?
Thank you.
Take us back. Where did it start? Where did that concept come from? How did you guys come up with this idea?
So it started probably around the time that me and her got married, which was 6 years ago. We've always been entrepreneurs or like some kids with dreams. Like
Yeah.
before we got into actual brick and mortar business, we did network marketing for like multiple businesses and stuff. So we were already around the reading material and the audios and putting ourselves in the right mindset that we had to be in to be business owners. So even if we weren't successful with those businesses, it really like helped us like with our brands. But when we first got married, we had a couple dollars saved up, so we were trying to buy a house. We were looking around. We finally found like a really nice house. I think in
You
like
should have called me.
yeah, this is no
I'm
yet. Yeah, but yeah. So we found a house. We put an offer down on it, which they like supposedly accepted, but like within like a couple of days they showed the house again and somebody bought it cash, like right out. Like we were just about to like go into contract too, but somebody bought it out from under us.
Sounds familiar.
We were a little sad about it, and we decided, you know what, let's switch gears. We were talking about a business for a while. So at the time we were like thinking about car washes and laundromats.
Okay.
And we were just doing
Good
research.
businesses.
Yeah. Like the laundromat business is a great business, but it's also like high overhead business where like you got to think about it. Have you ever washed your clothes in a laundromat?
Close one?
Like no, have you ever washed
Wash
your
my
clothes?
clothes? No.
Yeah.
No.
So like usually when you go to a laundromat, there's usually at least 1 or 2 machines that are always like out of service.
Okay.
So that's where the overhead comes in. So if like you're an owner that doesn't know how to fix these machines, you better have like a really good guy that like works for you, like the folding
On
guy,
standby.
the guy who folds
Yeah.
better know how to like fix the machines too, because you could end up blowing like all your profit on fixing the machines. So like the best way to really do it right is to buy a brand new location, brand new machines with warranties on them, like stuff like that. So like to buy a used laundromat was just like we didn't want to do that, and to buy a brand new laundromat is like $1 million. So it's like we weren't doing that. So, but at the time, my wife, she worked at Hand and Stone in Mamaroneck, and she was doing facials. She was also certified in lashes, so she was doing lashes on the side. She was doing them in my mother-in-law's kitchen. She was doing them in our living room. She was just grinding it out. Like she didn't have like a big book of clients. She had like a few clients, family, friends, and stuff like that. So she was like, at the time, there was only really like one place in Westchester County that specialized in just lashes. Like everyone else was like nail salons and stuff like that. So she brought the idea to me. And
Was there a need for that? Was there a lot of people at that time doing lashes?
it was just getting hot. It was like such, we got in it at such a great time. Like people had lashes, but it was still an industry where people looked at it as like, I'm scared to do that. Like it can make me go blind. There's so many, there was a bad stigmas against like the lash industry like years ago, you know? Also like the lash industry, they used to use like mink lashes. So like actual mink hair. So like animal activists like hated it. Like, there was like a lot against it. But I guess as it started getting more like commercialized and like more and more young girls and models and Kylie Jenner and all these big people started getting them, that was like when we were like getting ready with this idea. So Sandra like brought the idea to me. I really liked it. I was like, it's a great idea. So we just sat in our second bedroom, which we like ended up buying a computer, turning it into an office just for this idea. Like, and we walked around with like notebooks. We would grind every day. We'd get out of work. I used to work construction for the motion pictures industry. So I'd get out at like 4. I'd get home by like 6 after traffic. From 6 to like 1 o'clock in the morning, we would research our competition. We would run fake days with fake employees. Like we had this whole entire business in a notebook. Like,
so you just beta tested everything.
Every single thing that could possibly happen with the business, we beta tested it. Like we were just like, we just basically created a fake place. Like even down to the drawings. Like I would even draw the place. We would draw up different layouts for rooms, how many employees we could have. If we had 4 employees, that wouldn't fill all the rooms at all times. We'd need 7 employees to fill the room 6 days a week.
And this is the first business you are opening?
Yeah, this was our first business.
And you knew that you had to do all of this stuff to make it work?
Well, I'm more numbers, so it was more common sense to me. Like it just was just like, why wouldn't I want to like know these numbers? So Sandra's more of like great with ideas. I always felt like we were just a good team because she was the one who could bring the idea, and I was the one who could bring the idea to life, like with like marketing and graphic design and video and stuff like that. It was just, and also she's a lash artist. She's an award-winning lash artist. She won Best Lash Artist in Westchester like 2 years in a row. That's without the brand. Like that was just her. So
Sick.
she's the talent also. So like our partnership was always like the Puff Daddy and Biggie Smalls roles. She's Biggie, I'm Puffy, and I'm out here just getting it out there, you know? Like I'm good at promoting, like, and I'm good at being very loud, and like sometimes it could be obnoxious to people, but like at the end of the day, it brings dollar bills in the door, you know? So,
fuck you, that's me. That's who I am.
Don't get me wrong. When we first opened this, like probably the day after we opened, I was already like, we're the best. We're the best in Westchester. We probably did 6 clients. We're the best out here, like you know. Like,
you have to.
No, yeah.
It's
Like,
there was a realtor in, I don't know if you know the story. There was a realtor in Orange County. I'm sorry, in Rockland County. I forget what town. And she started marketing herself as the #1 realtor in Rockland County.
So
and she became
I put
the
that
#1 realtor in Rockland County.
I put that on my Instagram bio before we even opened, while we were still in renovation, the #1 trusted lash experts in Westchester County. Like,
Why not?
I
'Cause
claimed it.
Because at the end of the day, that's an opinion. So that's your opinion.
I
Fuck it.
looked at all my competition and
that.
I saw no one had, I don't know if they like didn't want to, but no one said they were the best. And I was like, shit, if no one wants to say they're the best, then I'm going to say I'm the best. Like,
But even if they did,
well,
who's to say you're not the best?
no, yeah, that's true. But it would have also been like, I don't want to like go around saying I'm the best when I'm not the best. But it was just like, I just saw no one really like called it. So I was like, I'm the best. It even got to the point where like, so Best of Westchester, the votes start in November. We opened in September. I was introducing myself to clients like, hi, like I'm the owner of Iconic Lash Lounge. We're about to win Best of Westchester. Like, I didn't.
I love that.
No, yeah, and the votes didn't even come out yet. Like, I didn't even know if I could make it into the first round. But I just knew that it was gonna happen, and I knew that like no one could outwork me. I just knew it. If it didn't come down to talent or anything, I knew no one could outwork me. Like,
Well, you knew you had the talent.
no,
right?
yeah, but also in the beginning, Sandra wasn't the lash artist she is today. Like, we both started from the bottom. Like, we both just started with a dream, and like Sandra got good because us grinding it out and her having to be there 7 days a week, doing 6, 7, 8 clients a day. Like, the consistency, the persistence, that's what made her the best. Like, we both, like, we were both fresh at everything. Like, I didn't know graphic design. I didn't know marketing. I didn't know none of this until we opened our business, you know? So it was like, I was going to pay a company. I already paid somebody like $6,000 for all of our graphic design. They sent it all back to me and I hated it all. And I asked for a refund and she was like, no, I can't give you a refund. I'm like, why? I'm not going to use any of this. She was like, because I charge $65 an hour and I put 60 hours into this. So if you really want to get technical, you owe me another $500. So I was like, all right. So I lost all.
Moving on.
Yeah. I was like, all right. So I lost that. And I was like, you know what? Like, this is the last time I'm ever going to lose money on like anything for my brand. And my wife found it for me. There was a Facebook ads and like Photoshop brush up class in NYU. It was like $600 for the tuition, and there was no high school diploma needed. And I don't have a high school diploma, so I was like, what? I skipped high school, went to NYU. I'll take that.
Start telling people that.
Yeah.
Skipped high school, went to NYU. And no student loans.
I even did Harvard online classes during quarantine.
Love that.
Like, yeah.
Dude.
So
I'm leaguer.
yeah, why go? Like, so I did those classes. It taught me a little bit about Photoshop, the importance of social media. That's when it really clicked for me, and I was like, all right. So I just started. My marketing changed. I always said to Sandra that as the work of all of our employees changed and got better, I got better. Like, it was like I was feeding off of their energy. Yep. They were feeding off of the energy that, like, the fire that I was creating. I'm pretty sure that we have the most votes in Best of Westchester history. Like, I don't think any other business who's ever ran for Best of Westchester.
In any industry.
In any industry, from food, dining, everything, like gardening, whatever other
because nobody
categories
can out-campaign you either, I guess.
No, there was one year that I probably had like at least 2,000 people in Westchester County post us. Like, it was just a fire. The first like 3 years was just, we got involved with everything. Bloomingdale's reached out to us. They wanted us every single month to set up a table. Like, I knew I wanted to hit them with the marketing and social media, and I wanted to hit them with the tables. And like, it's hard because we're just a lash place. Like, how do we make a fun table? And like, I would just, if it was inside like a mall, I would set it up to just crazy nice centerpieces and floating candles. You would almost think we were like a bridal flower shop sometimes. Like, just to bring people in. We'd have like a model sitting next to it with one eye with lashes, one eye without lashes, like, so you don't have to like look at a screen for like pictures. And then outside events was my specialty, because I always knew exactly how to get the parents. You go for the kids. So I would just friggin' have my front desk girls making hundreds of goodie bags. I'd go to Party City, I'd spend $1,000 in the best candies, like fill these goodie bags, and then I would always put out like a dope, like a bubble machine. It was simple. It was so dope that whenever I did like San Gennaro's and stuff, businesses requested to be next to my table because they knew that I built crowds, because this bubble machine brings all the kids. The kids want to come up to the
Smart,
bubble
yeah.
machine.
That's
And then the
genius.
parents have to follow the kids over. And they're like, oh, da-da-da-da, let me grab like a goodie bag. If they're not going to take marketing, they're going to grab a goodie bag. And every goodie bag has one of my cards tied to it. So they're always going to, if they're going to put it in their purse, maybe a couple days, a week down the line, they're going to go into their bag and they're going to find my card, you know, like. So, and then my last engineer, I killed it. I was like, you know what? I want to see an ocean of my logo. So I went and I bought helium tanks and I got custom balloons.
Balloons?
Every single kid who walked into the San Gennaro last year got a free Iconic Lash Lounge balloon. If you look down the block, all you saw were blue balloons floating everywhere. And then after the night, all you saw all over the street were blue balloons. It was just like
It's pretty awesome.
So
with my logo on them.
And it's
So
funny you say that about going right toward the kids because that's like retail 101. A lot of the stores you go into, like Apple, for example, I remember I read an article that their shelves, the way they're laid out, there's a reason for everything. Like all the stuff for kids are like down low. 'Cause
Yeah.
obviously, kids are tall and they can't go up there.
No,
So that's how you
facts.
get the parents to buy it.
yeah,
Everything has a reason, and I love that.
yeah.
You can apply that to anything.
If you ever walk down the cereal aisle, you'll notice that all the characters on the boxes are looking down. They make all the characters look down at the kids.
So they're staring at that's amazing.
Mhm.
That's funny. I never knew that.
Yeah.
That's
Now
sick.
marketing, there's so many sick little like tricks. Like it doesn't like social media is my bread and butter, but like I love the excitement of like doing everything else. Like my new business that I'm opening up, even though I'm gonna run a shitload of ads, I'm still gonna go up there next week and hand out cards to all the neighbors and all the people in the surrounding towns and like hang my menus up places. Like I love new school but I still love old school.
Yeah.
Like I'm not old school to the point where I'm gonna spend $10,000 to get my name set on Sirius XM or anything. I'm not gonna do that.
No?
But no, I'm not gonna do that. that no. Like or like
This ad is brought to you.
there's a few things that I don't like. I don't like Groupon. I've been
No.
shaking Groupon off for the past 5 years since we've been open. Like I just feel like Groupon in the beauty industry. I understand there are some industries that can use Groupon, but in the beauty industry, I just feel like it's just like sellout lane. Like once you're screaming for business now, like that you're on Groupon, like
But isn't it the same thing as putting out like a 2-for-1, for example? If you do your own promotion
yeah, dude.
versus putting it on Groupon?
Yeah, but there's just like a lot of politics with Groupon. You're giving out like a lot of services for them for free, and like once you hit like a quota, that's when like you could like make money, and it's just. I just always felt like I have a bigger reach than Groupon, like especially with my audience, like you know, like, and it's just I never needed it. Like the first 6 months was the grind, and then once the brand popped, it's been. I never have to like right now. I could probably never run another ad ever again, and we're gonna be booked every single day as long as our doors are open. Like we're booked. We don't take walk-ins. Like if someone comes, like we don't take same-day appointments. It's impossible. Like you know, like
It's a good problem to have.
no, it's and I was talking to my wife the other day about it. It's when we first open. It's and I talk about this in my class that we do for like people in the beauty industry because people in the beauty industry they get so just like sunken into like I'm booked this week. And it's like, all right, what about next week? Like, don't you want your beauty business to pay you like as if like you work a corporate job where you make the same exact salary? Like, do you want it to be like you're making 900 this week and 1,000 next week and 1,500 the week after, or do you want to make 1,500 every week? Like,
Yeah.
and I couldn't live like that. You know, I couldn't be really booked this week and then like go through my schedule and see next week and see gaps in it. I would get stressed. So my goal was always to get us 2 weeks, 3 weeks, like 4 weeks booked out. And like now it's like to the point
Consistency.
where like, yeah, like to get like an appointment with one of my wife or one of my employees right now, which I don't have many because now we're doing the suites, but it's probably 3 to 4 weeks you have to call in advance. You know, like we have clients that come out from Pennsylvania that wait like 2 months for their appointment. Like Sandra, my wife just had a client come in the other day. She comes in every 2 weeks for her lashes from Pennsylvania. Like, yeah, Harlem, Brooklyn, all over the place. So, like, that's why, like, another thing is I have no excuses for people that are like, this is a bad location. It's like, there's no such thing as a bad location.
Not anymore.
You bring the people
Not
to you,
anymore.
you know?
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, but it's so far. Like, when I opened up in Yorktown, my first location, people were like, wow, this is such, like, a secluded place that you're going to have to spend so much money in, like, newspapers and advertisements just to, like, let people even know you're here. And it's just, like, after years of doing this, I realized that people will travel for quality. It doesn't matter where you are. And I know this firsthand because if I want a Philly cheesesteak, I'm going to drive. I do it probably like 3 times a year. I drive out to Philly just for a sandwich.
And it's not just the sandwich; it's the quality of the sandwich. And
Exactly. I got my spots. I don't go just to like
Where do you go?
Pat's or Geno's. Like
Where
I
do you
go to Ishka Bibbles. I go to gyms. They're on like South
I like
Street.
Tony Luke's. What do you think of Tony Luke's?
I haven't tried Tony Luke's.
It's good.
It's good.
It's right out on the outside. Yeah, next to Citizens Bank.
Snack
yeah.
time.
There you go.
No, yeah, snack time. Mm-hmm.
So what is your actual like your primary job every day? You're doing the advertising and the events, or
So I do ads, events, PR, reach out to like the magazines and stuff. I do like also like I could be a porter one day. I could be cleaning bathrooms. You know, like I fix things. Like I also do like our numbers. I deal with like the accounting and stuff like that.
any lashes in there?
No, I mean, like, I've been to, like, trainings and stuff. I know everything there is to be need, like, at least as much as I need to know. Like, I can answer any question about lashes. Like, when I first got into it, it's like, I knew I was a man in a woman's industry, so I knew I had to really learn everything about it to get by and to be, like, respected and stuff, you know? So,
That's an interesting concept you bring up. Being
No,
a man
yeah.
in a woman's industry.
yeah, it's tough. And to be an aggressive man, too, is tough, too. You got to think, when we first came out, like, reels weren't even a thing yet. Like, they were just starting to put, like, features on stories and shit like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
You know, so, I'm sorry, I'm cool to curse?
You're all
You
good.
do whatever the fuck you
All
want.
right, okay. All right, but yeah. So, I was very aggressive with my marketing, and nobody, like, businesses were still fresh. They were still so fresh to Instagram that I came out with such fire that every single person in the beauty industry reached out to me, and they were like, "Hey, do you want to run my page? I'll pay you." And I'm like, "No,
No
like,
way.
nah." Like, I was just like, I would love to help, and I've always been a person that, like, if I mess with you, like, you could always call me. I'll help you out with any graphic design, any tips. I'll help you with your Instagram. Like, I will literally come over to your business and set up your ads and show you, like, how to do it and stuff like that. That's just how I am. So I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to take on jobs for marketing. I'm
Right.
going to use my marketing for my alliances and, like, my friendships and stuff like that, you know? Because, like, that's one thing that, like, I always held very strong is building my business with integrity.
Yeah.
Like, I knew I needed to make a lot of relationships, but I also didn't want to be the person that goes around and just makes relationships with everybody. You know, like,
Make
once
relationships with the right people.
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, once I, like, mess with you in your industry, like, that's what I stick with. Like, I'm friends, like, I love baked goods and cookies, so, like, I have a lot of bakery friends, and, like, they all want support too. But, like, I support this person for their cookies, I support this person for their donuts, even though they have cookies. But I'm just gonna support them for the donuts. Like, support this person for their custom cakes. I support, like, even though they all got the same stuff, I'm gonna support them for separate things because I don't want anybody to feel any type of way, you know. Like, and that's it. Loyalty is always a huge thing to me. I come from South Yonkers, you know, and in the South Bronx. So it's like loyalty is everything to me, and I always took that into business. And, like, being in the beauty industry, it's like it's tough. It's a very petty place, you know, and I'm not like that. Like, you know,
I think all businesses are like that.
yeah.
There's
I'm not like
pettiness in
that.
any
Yeah.
industry. Yeah.
You know, I'm one to help. You know, like,
Yeah.
I like to use my marketing to help people. You know, like, not just myself. So that's why we got into the beauty suites. It's because we built this big brand. You know, and it's like, why not use we've did as much as we could out here in Westchester with Iconic Lash Lounge, and we've made it such a staple name in the beauty industry that it's like, why not use our brand to help other people grow their brands too, you know? So
Yeah.
that's why this was like our way into real estate, but not into real estate.
I do want to touch on and learn more about the beauty suites, but I do have a real quick question before
Yeah,
we
yeah.
go into that. Did you guys ever talk and just think back, if you had bought that house, would we be sitting here today talking about Iconic Lash Lounge?
Possibly.
Possibly.
Yeah, me and Sandra are like cockroaches. Like, she always says it. Like, we always make it happen, no matter what. We always survive. Like, but yeah, like, I possibly, like, if it was an idea that I'm the type of person that once it's in my head, it's going to happen. Nothing is going to stop
Yeah.
it. And Sandra's the same way. So it's like, if we did buy the house, I would have sold everything I owned. I did that when we bought the first Yorktown. We
Yeah.
opened our first business with $300. The day we opened the doors, we had $300 in our bank account left, and I had to go to the bank and take it out and put it into the cash register for change. We couldn't even like go celebrate for dinner that night. And that week, we had no more money. I took off like 3 weeks from my job just like to get the place going. We had no money coming in. So if we did not make payroll from the employees bringing in clients, not them bringing in clients, but them doing clients, we wouldn't even have been able to make payroll. But like by the grace of God, every single week we made it. And even through like the dark times, there was times when we first opened this place that we'd pull up to our house and cry. Like literally cry, like we don't know what to do. Like it would be like my father-in-law and mother-in-law both came up to the place once and they were like, hey, like my mother-in-law was like, maybe you should add some services to like bring in more businesses. It's going to be really hard to build a place that's just on lashes. I've never even heard of a place. No one's heard of this. People were like, what, a place that just does lashes? So but we were like,
We're
no,
pioneers.
like, huh? Yeah, we
Pioneers.
knew what we wanted. So we just kept going, and I just kept reaching out to publications and media, and I kept getting left on red, and I kept getting left on scene, and finally one publication answered. They were based out in London, Eyelash Magazine, and they were like, hey, do you want to, we want to do a write-up on you. So they did a write-up on us. They put it in Eyelash Magazine. They put it in Beauty Launchpad. And I'll never forget, me and my wife, we were sitting in our bedroom, and it was like a really low time. And we were like, we just didn't know what to do to get like the name out there more. And like my wife like checked the email, and the first thing at the top, they were like, hey, the article just launched. And they sent it to us. And like, we were like in tears. We were like, holy crap, to see us in like a magazine. And the next day we started getting mentions on Instagram stories. Like people were like, oh, it's dope to see like locals like being put in like big publications and stuff like that. And literally the day after that, Westchester Magazine emailed us, and it just turned into a snowball effect. And then I got hungry and I got excited, and I was just got unstoppable after that. It was just like I just want to just keep going. And then we got to Bloomingdale's, and then we started a podcast that only did 2 or 3 episodes, but those 3 episodes were good enough to. Bloomingdale's offered us, they were like, hey, do you want to do a launch party for your podcast? And we were like, sure. They gave us like this huge budget. We shut down a whole entire floor of Bloomingdale's. It was
That's
like a
sick.
3-hour
That's
event.
amazing.
But like that wasn't even just for us. Like at the time, we were like, wow, look, we're building such a huge event. I think we had over 400 people come to this event. It was a fashion show. We were like, let's get other businesses involved. So I got restaurants there. I was like, hey, there's going to be a ton of people there. Come through with a table, serve your food. We had bakeries there. I got local bloggers involved. We got local media people involved, and we did like a fashion show, and it was dope, you know? Like like I always like to get people involved, because in business you can't, it's one team, one dream. You got to do it together.
You can't do it by yourself.
No, you can't.
Can't do it by yourself.
It's impossible.
So tell us about Iconic Beauty Suites. What's that concept like? What
Okay.
should we look forward to?
All right, so Iconic Beauty Suites is basically the future of the Iconic brand. You know, me and Sandra always wanted everything to be iconic, you know, so this is the future of the Iconic brand. You know, just we did everything we could with Iconic Lash Lounge, you know, like we've won every award possible. We just felt like we needed something fresh at one point, you know? So like right before we found out about our son, we were like, you know what, let's try to do like Airbnbs. You know, we could do like Iconic Entertainment like for this one or something, and do like Airbnbs in Texas and stuff. We always like the end goal was always real estate. Like, you know, like everything was always going to be a stepping stone to real estate. But we were just like, all right, so we flew down to Texas, to Austin. We started looking around at like houses and stuff like that. And we found a few that we really liked, but we ended up coming back, and like a few weeks later, Sandra found out she was pregnant. And we were like, oh, wow. It threw us off guard. So we were like, okay.
That happens.
we might not be able to fly around all the time to go look at houses anymore, like do this. So, and we never really wanted to get into real estate in New York unless we were like flipping houses, because it's like I just know so many people who bought buildings or like houses and have tenants, and it's like it's hard to find like people who are gonna like pay and stuff, and like even the people that did pay, like they were good with their rent. When COVID hit, they stopped paying too. Like you know, like so like I have a friend right now who owns a building on Park Hill in Yonkers, and his mother passed away, left him the building, and to this day he still has tenants that like aren't paying, and it's like I'm not dealing with that, like, because I'll kick them out myself, you know. Like,
What were you gonna say?
Tell us more.
You know? So so we were like, all right, let's switch gears. Sandra's been telling me about this salon suite idea for like a year and a half, and I'm like, no, like I don't like it. I always wanted Iconic Lash Lounge to be, if I created it, I want it to stay how I want. I don't want people changing paint to my room. Like, I would want my branding everywhere. And it was like, it was selfish, I guess, you know, because if I would have not been a little less selfish and opened up my brain, I would have saw the vision, you know? So, but finally, like, she showed me, like, another video about, like, the salon suite industry, and I was just like, you know what, it is a great idea, you know, and like we're just seeing how the economy is going, and it's like minimum wages going up. So even though we don't pay minimum wage, we pay commission, and like all the girls that we ever had like make more than minimum wage, well over more like minimum wage, you know, like career, like our employees, like I always felt like we have had the best payment structure in the beauty industry out here, like, you know, but it was just, I was noticing that as minimum wage was going up, people were requesting more commissions and stuff. And a little bit like after COVID, like I feel like everybody started getting like this entrepreneur mindset, like, and everybody wanted to start like doing it for themselves, which is understandable, you know. Any job is supposed to be a stepping stone, you know, like. So I was just seeing where like the temperature was going in the room. So I was just like, you know what, like if everybody wants to be the boss, let's make them the boss, you know. Like let's let them be the boss. So it's like, so we started switching gears, and we were like, you know what, like, let's do the Iconic Beauty Suites. We use the Iconic Lash Lounge platform to help push that brand and help push the brands of our tenants, you know. So we were like, let's just do it, you know. And we had the baby. Sandra, like when Sandra used to have to train these lash artists, we would be there. So we would close at 7:30, and Sandra would train from 7:30 to like 11 o'clock at night. Like we didn't get home till like 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning every single day. And it was like we couldn't do that with a baby. So it's like, are we gonna?
Why the baby doesn't sleep?
Yeah, right. It's
Mine
like,
doesn't.
why do we keep training like these girls? And because Sandra would do a new class of like maybe 5 girls every like few months, and out of the 5 girls, maybe 1 girl would make it, and it would take probably like a year to train a lash artist. Could take between 6 months to a year for them to at least be doing the quality that we wanted done on our clients, you know. So it's just a long investment. You're investing a whole year of your time into this person to hopefully they stay forever, you know. Like of course, like in the beauty industry, it's that kind of a place where it's like
People move around a lot.
well, not even just move around a lot. They want everybody's main goal is really they want to own their own salon or their own business. Like, you know, every barber who's cutting hair somewhere, like their dream is to own their own barber shop one day, you know, which is understandable. So it's like we just wanted to be able to do these salon suites because we researched our competition in this industry too, and we noticed that no one was really pushing the content for them. Like, you know, some of them had like branding packages where they help with websites and stuff like that. But I'm like, what if we do a place that has like a podcast studio and a content studio, and they have access to it, and we could charge like for like packages, like studio time packages and stuff like that, you know, and go all in with the content. Like, so our tenants every quarter get a free 1-hour content shoot with me. So we could either use our studio, or I could go into your rooms and you could bring a model and I could shoot for you, and we could make it like a reel and you could post it, because like not everybody knows how to really work Instagram. So it's like, you know what, let's push the content with it. and it worked, and we built like a waiting list, and we have all our tenants in our Yorktown location, and now we
Already?
have Goshen. Well, so we booked up all 4 of our suites in Yorktown, and when we launched it, like the same week, we launched it on like a Monday. All the rooms were booked by like Friday.
So these people are basically that's first of all
That's
that's sick.
awesome.
So these people have like a business within your business. You're a real
Exactly.
estate. You're a real estate broker,
Exactly.
and they're realtors.
I'm
That's
a
the way I
tenant
see
and
it.
and a real estate broker. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, a landlord and a
That's sick.
real estate broker.
That is a sick concept.
No, yeah. I mean, it's great. It's less stressful. Like, you know, I was an employee myself, so I understand how it is. Like,
Yeah.
if it's blizzarding outside, there's a big chance I'm not going to work. You know, like, but it sucks when you're on the other end of that, because now you have 30 clients from that day that don't give a shit about that blizzard, and they still want to come in.
Yeah.
And you got to call everybody, and you got to move them, and it's hard with like Iconic Lash Lounge, because it's like every day is fully booked. So it's like, it's not like you could take these 30 clients and put them in tomorrow, because there's no room on the schedule tomorrow. Now you're pushing them into like 2 weeks later, and now you got to give people discounts, because now they have to get full sets and stuff like that. It's a good problem and a bad problem to have, you know. And it's just like less phone calls, less bickering or drama. Like sometimes you get, I mean, it's a woman's industry. You got to understand sometimes there's gonna be some bickering and
Sure.
drama and stuff.
Sure.
But now it's just it's a lot less stressful. I love it. Yeah.
I think you and Sandra should really be proud of what you've built.
No,
Not gonna lie, I know 6 years is a long time, but it really is just a short period of time when you think about it.
No, yeah.
You guys have really built a huge brand, in a community that's, you know, full of different businesses and different industries. So you guys should really, you know, give yourselves not a pat on the back, but a
No, I
round of
appreciate
applause.
that. I
Like, you guys are
appreciate that.
really
Thank you,
killing
thank
it,
you.
honestly.
Thank you.
So as we're wrapping it up, if you can give one piece of advice to your younger self, what would it be?
Keep going.
Don't stop.
Don't stop. There's nothing that I've did that I live with really no regrets of my past or my childhood or anything, because everything that's ever happened to me, good or bad, is the reason why I am who I am today. You know, the hunger, the just nonstop. Like, if you were in my path, you were going down. You either jump on the wave or get washed up by it. With me, like, especially with how I build a business. So it's like I needed everything in my past to happen for me to get to where I am. So it's like I wouldn't want to tip myself off with anything, because it might change me a
the
little.
direction.
Yeah. I want it to just be exactly how it was. But if I did have a piece of advice for someone younger, it would be to well, one thing I usually always do with people is like I lend them books. That's like one of my things. I'm like, here's one of my favorite books. Just to make sure you read it, I'm like, I'll be back next week to pick it up. You know, so
With a quiz.
Yeah. So one of my tips would be to get yourself around the right information, around the right books, around the right audios, and really like pay attention, soak it in. You know, like that's all I really could like. That's like the first, the bottom of the iceberg, you know. But yeah, that would probably be a tip.
Dude, this has been fucking awesome, man. Thank you so much for coming.
Of course.
Yeah.
Before we let you go, I want to get your commitment to come back a second time, because there's been so much that we didn't even get into.
Yeah.
You know, marketing and social media. You have a son, work-life balance, like all that shit. Like
I would
we
love to,
got to
yeah.
get into so much other stuff with you.
I would love to.
But this has been absolutely awesome.
That
I
was
really
amazing.
appreciate it, man.
Appreciate it.
Thank
guys.
you.
Thank you for having
Really
me.
enjoyed listening to you, man.
No, thank
Thanks
you.
for coming out.
See you guys
course.
next time.